Welcome everyone and welcome to Cards and Conversation. Aajke we have this very nice Nissan X-trail which is owned by Mr. Fariz. Salam bro.
Salam here. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So for the car itself, I think for the past 5 to 6 years A-shape টা অনেক ভালো সেল হচ্ছে আমাদের দেশে. So for a small intro about you on the car.
Welcome everyone. My name is Fariz Rahman. I'm a student. I'm currently giving my A-levels and this is my 2018 Nissan Hybrid, X-trail Hybrid 4x4.
Nice, mashallah. And bro, so the car, it's the hybrid variant?
Yes.
So is the engine same as the 2 liter?
Yeah, it's completely same. It's completely same. Both of them are MR20DEs.
Okay.
Both in the non-hybrid and hybrid versions.
Awesome.
And this one just has a mild hybrid system.
Okay.
With a battery pack. It's basically the same. It's basically the same.
Okay. Almost the same.
Yeah.
Just with the battery pack.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so tomorrow time are ki options chilo?
Around that time, I had a budget of around 40 lakhs. This was in August 2022, and this was before the dollar rate
increase.
This was right. This was back when the dollar rate was still around 100 or less than 100. So around that time, I had an option of getting a CHR, Prius, Exio, Premio, stuff like that.
Okay.
And before we had the X-trail, we used to own a 240 series Alien. NZT 240.
Right.
And
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So around that time we already had those cars, so I wasn't really interested in getting another premium because it's basically the same car. It's the same car. The ride quality is the same, the suspension feels the same to me. And the 260 series, the new one, I really don't like the steering. It doesn't give me the feedback that I want. So I didn't get that car. I didn't end up getting that.
Okay.
The CHR, it's a good car. It gets good mileage and everything, but the rear seats are very claustrophobic.
Very poor, yeah.
Yeah, it's very
hardly
bad.
any space at the back.
Yeah, very
second
bad
row.
space. Yeah, second row. So for those reasons, I ended up getting this car.
Okay.
And around that time, I actually do car business myself.
Oh,
and
mashallah, nice.
Around that time, I got a really good deal on this car through one of my connections, and alhamdulillah, it's been great.
It's nice, mashallah. So in general, in this market, the crossover market is currently probably the highest selling in the country.
Yeah.
But in the past 2 to 3 years, there are so many competitors.
Yeah.
For example, the Chinese market has kicked in right now.
Yeah.
But oitar poreo, I feel like the cars such as X-trails, CRVs have actually sold quite well in our market comparatively.
The thing with Bengali people are as good as all those Chinese cars are. I will never deny this. The Chinese cars, the features they're providing within the budget that they're selling at, it's really good. It's actually really impressive that they can provide so many things for such low prices. But the thing is, at the end of the day, Bengali people will always prefer reliability over features.
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely.
Because we live in a country where people use their cars for at least 5 to 10 years. So in my opinion, for that reason, people prefer X-trails, Harriers, CRVs more than those Chinese competitors.
Right.
But I have nothing against those cars. They're really good cars.
Yes, absolutely. And how's your experience so far with this car?
Alhamdulillah, it's been great. Actually, while I was shopping for cars, the X-trail, I really didn't want to buy this car because around that time, people market ekta baje ekta reputation ase ei gari. So the gearboxes, they're prone to fail.
Right.
The brake boosters and everything else.
The battery as well.
So I wasn't sure about getting this car.
Okay.
However, I saw Mr. Avik Anwar's video on the X-trail. He reviewed a old shape X-trail, but in that video, he explained the entire gearbox situation so nicely that I did my own research, on top of that.
Right.
And then I decided to get this car. So the pre-facelift X-trails are actually the ones that have the gearbox
issues.
problems.
Oh, okay. Understood.
Yeah, so those generation of gearboxes are not
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
which A-shaped, right?
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know that. I thought a same issue to it to continue.
No.
Right.
The new shape has a new generation gearbox which is much more reliable.
Right. Okay.
So
nice.
This car, I haven't done any major works to this car in the 2 years that I've owned it. I've bought this in August of 2022.
22, yeah.
And till now, alhamdulillah, I've had absolutely no problems. I've only done basic maintenance, you know, Mobil filter,
all change,
air filters, just that, nothing else. However, the new shape does have an issue with the brake booster still.
Okay.
It's not on all models, however, some do face these issues.
Right.
And no matter what xtrail you get, I will always recommend doing the gearbox oil changes.
Oh.
The gear oil, actually, just to stay safe.
Right. And how's the drive?
The drive, it's good.
Okay.
I would say that this car is very comfortable. The suspension is really good, especially on highways.
Highways,
yeah. And on highways, this car is extremely comfortable. Like you can go 160 and you'll just feel like you're doing 80. This car is really, really comfortable, and yeah, I really like it. However, this car, the brakes are electronic, the steering's electronic, so you don't really get the driver's feedback. Yeah, so like if you enjoy driving, I will say this car is not for you.
Yeah, understood.
So yeah, I would say that this is not a driver's car. This is a car that you would much prefer being driven in.
Okay, understandable. আরেকটা যেটা এক্সট্রেল ছিল এটা আগের ভার্সনটা 2012 model, I think.
The T31?
T31, I
yeah,
guess.
Yeah.
Oita, I think the shape of that X-trail and the way it drove, I feel, man, at least from my point of view, Oita I do better like compared to Oita had a boxy shape.
100%.
It drove really good. They looked too basic, understandable, but it had a massive sunroof.
Yeah.
So
I really like that car as well. I prefer boxy cars.
Same here.
I much more prefer older cars than newer cars, and I really, really like that X-trail. I was actually considering getting that as well, but at that time my family wanted a reconditioned car, so I didn't have a choice. So I had to get this.
Right, understand. Right. And the other factor of X-trails are the fact that basically the legroom in the second row is massive. Massive legroom.
So I'm like, So I'm like 6'2", and the legroom was a very, very big factor for me getting a car.
For you, yeah.
So that's also a reason I didn't prefer a premium, because the dashboard, I usually sit in the front, on the front passenger side. So the legroom on the passenger side is not good. Like the dashboard hits my knees, and the CHR, it's good. It's not great, but I can fit in that car. So
at the back, especially.
Yeah, the back especially. So the X-trail, the thing with this car is I can fit in every single seat in this car, and I love that. Like I've always struggled with sitting in cars because my feet are massive. So this car is very, very comfortable for me.
Understandable.
Yeah.
And in fact, like এখানে যদি তুমি সামনে বসতে হয় ওটার কারণে, but ওটার পরেও at the back there's
more
so
than
much
enough
space at the back.
Yeah.
It's actually quite. And bro, আমি তো গাড়ির field servicing and maintenance নিয়ে
the maintenance is not much. Compared to some other Japanese cars, I would say it's just a tiny bit more. It's only because of the hybrid, yeah. So you have to buy 0W20 oil, Mobil basically.
Mobil company lubricants সঠিক Mobil আসল Mobil oil এ Mobil মার্কা থাকে, তাই সেরা সুরক্ষা ও পারফরম্যান্স পেতে সব সময় Mobil মার্কা দেখে কিনুন।
And that is quite expensive, especially after so much trouble with importing stuff. So
LC dollar.
LC, yeah, for stuff like that, it's getting a bit tough. That's basically the biggest expense. You don't really have any other expenses for this car. The filters, everything else is widely available. The parts are also pretty cheap. It's not that bad. So that was also another factor when I bought this car. I had to check whether like how much the parts cost basically for long-term use, and comparatively compared to CRV, Harrier, whatever, this car was much cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah, way cheaper.
Fuel any issues?
Fuel, the thing is, this, nobody will ever admit this, especially someone who drives the X-trail hybrid. The fuel mileage is not good.
True.
It is not good. I was basically scammed buying this car. Everyone starting from my mechanics to the showroom I bought it from, to literally X-trail users themselves lied to me about the fuel average of this car. like within the city you cannot get more than 8. If you're lucky you will get 8. Like ঈদের সময় যখন রাস্তা খালি থাকে না তখনই আমি ম্যাক্স পাইছি 8.2 8.3 something like that. However, I will also admit this, highways this car is top notch. You can get above 16 17 18 kilometers per liter and it's really good. Just stay up to date with the maintenance, and this car will treat you well.
Very true. And yeah, like for example, my aunt has a E as well, X-trail as well. She gets 6 to 7 per liter in the city in traffic, so it's a bit hard to justify as it's a hybrid. In city in peak traffic, it should give at least 8 to 9.
8 to 9. I would say even like premios. I know some people that have premio the 2015 2016 models. They get above 8 or 9 within the city with peak traffic.
Right.
So considering that, I would still say ekta hybrid gari should get at least 12 to 13 within the city, or else it's not justified. Why will you take the extra para to get a hybrid when you're not even getting the service you require?
Absolutely true. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Very true.
So like the sacrifices I had to make for this car, the brakes are terrible. The brakes are so bad. I hate driving this car sometimes, like especially when like I'm going a bit fast. It is not fun to drive. Like the pull is good, the torque is good, everything is good.
Are the brakes sloppy or are they soft? Are they sudden?
The pedal feel is not bad. It's not terrible, it's not good, but it's not terrible.
Okay.
But the stopping distance is so bad.
Understood.
So bad. Like you do not get any confidence braking in this car. So yeah, I don't speed with this car. I drive very responsibly because I'm scared of literally. I'm scared of the brakes.
Understandable.
Yeah. So yeah. Like the sacrifices we have to make just to get very average mileage is not worth it in my opinion. However, I would say non-hybrid Harriers and CRVs, they get way less mileage. Way less. অনেক কম. Like আমার একটা friend আছে, he has a non-hybrid X-trail, same model 2018 4x4. He gets on average 3 to 4. So X-trail
3 to 4
within the city. And highways it's okay. Highways it's like what 9 or something. So in that sense, the hybrid is worth it because I'm getting almost double.
Right.
So yeah, it's not bad at all.
Right. And so from your point of view, I make 3 pros and 3 cons.
3 pros and 3 cons.
Yeah.
The 3 pros, I would say it's a very comfortable car. It's like you can fall asleep in this car. It's that good. And I'm a person that cannot sleep in something that's moving.
Right.
So I can sleep in this car. It's actually very comfortable. And another pro I would say is it's pretty reliable. I've had no issues with this car yet. So it's pretty good, I would say. And the third pro I would say is I really like the features of this car. The things that you get for this price with the reliability and everything. The sound system is really good. The sound system is actually like for a stock speaker system, it's really good. Like this car has enough bass that the rear view mirror shakes. Like আমি এই জিনিসটা আমি সব গাড়িতে দেখি না, especially on stock sound
speakers.
systems.
Yeah, very true.
So that's the 3 pros I would say. And for 3 cons,
I think brake is number 1.
Brake is number one in every sense. It's so bad. Like I'm actually considering changing the brake pads to Akebono brake pads. Just so that I can keep myself sane driving this car.
Right.
And the brakes are number 1. The number 2 issue I would say is the mileage. It's not great. However, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but it's not great either. So like that's the second con. And the third con I would say is sometimes this car it's very picky with oil, like fuel. Like sometimes bajetel porle this car starts shaking so badly, it's actually insane. Like it's very sensitive to fuel. Like with Toyotas and other Hondas and stuff, you can get away with getting like bad oil once or twice. But this car is extremely sensitive compared to other Japanese cars with fuel. So I'm bound to use dyno tabs with this car, or else this car is unbearably slow. Like it just becomes slow. And এখন ইঞ্জিনটা যেমনি স্মুথ আছে, it's only because of the dyno tabs.
Dyno tabs.
Yeah, I always get fuel from clean fuel.
Every time to me, dyno tabs, every time.
Huh? Yeah, every time.
Every time, but
every time.
it might affect the engine.
I don't use
If
much.
you-
I just get
if you use
one
it
tablet.
often.
I just use one tablet with
Okay.
every refuel. And মানে আমি মাইলেজও 1-2 কিলোমিটার বেশি পাই আর the engine it just smooths down everything. Like it just runs really well with the dyno tabs. So I've been using it and I'm always getting fuel from Southern or Clean Fuel Mohakali.
Clean fuel দিয়ে তেল নিলেও any issues or is that?
No, clean fuel নিলে
fuel
কিছু হয় না। কিছু হয় না, তাও আমি দিয়ে রাখি just to be
Just
safe.
in case, just to be safe,
Yeah. So yeah, those are the 3 pros and 3 cons.
And any future plans with the car?
Future plans, as I said, I want to get Akebono brake pads.
Okay.
Just to, make it a little bit better.
Better,
Yeah. And another thing I'm planning to do is changing out the lights. My car came with halogens.
Awesome.
So my car, it's basically the middle package.
Right.
So it's a hybrid, it's a 4x4, but it doesn't have the projection lights.
And the sunroof.
And the sunroof, yes. So
right.
I don't like sunroof.
Oh, okay. Why?
It's just my personal preference.
That's
I just feel kind of paranoid driving with a sunroof car in case something falls from a building or something. It's Bangladesh. You never know
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, what's gonna happen. So so I just want to get projection headlights and fog lights, and that's basically it. This car, everything else, I'm very, very satisfied with.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so
man.
much, bro.
It's an honor to be on your show.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome.